Welcome back, everyone, here to East Texas Now, but also welcome in our very own Andrew Culver, who joins us live from the Longview office, because I know you were out and about today on your story, getting us the latest updates from the Gregg County Commissioners meeting that happened this morning. We talked a little bit about this on Good Morning East Texas, and we know that you were out trying to get us the latest details on what was mentioned in that meeting. So, Andrew, give us the latest.
Sure, yeah. There was one thing that was kind of the obvious thing to look into, and that was an agreement between the Gregg County Sheriff's Office and Longview ISD. Many of you may know in Longview ISD, they're trying to establish a police force. The chief of district safety is Benjamin Kemper, and to which he was on the Longview Police Department, I believe, for about 24 years ish or so. But anyways, he was approached for this thing to establish a police force, and I believe this got approved on the board for Longview ISD around maybe sometime last summer or so. And since then, they've been working through this. They've been trying to get personnel. I believe they're trying to get about 15 or excuse me, sorry, I think around 12 marshals, and as well as about 5 sworn officers. And basically, within their jurisdiction of Longview ISD, they will have their police force where there's traffic regulations, where there's that an incident occurs within the school district and whatnot. And one of the things to keep on taking steps forward, to keep on going in this process, they need MOUs in these types of agreements between different types of law enforcement. Today, that was Gregg County Sheriff's Office. So now they have this saying, it's like, all right, they're in contact with the sheriff's office in case they need help in some way, shape, or form. Everyone thinks of a crazy school incident, but this could just be with traffic regulations and whatnot. And so they will be also approaching the city as well to get the police department and their MOU agreed to in that way too. But I also just speaking to Mr. Kemper, again, who's the chief of district safety with Longview ISD. He was talking about that he hopes to have this program kind of completed in the summer sometime, and they have to figure out all technicalities, their budgets and everything. They don't have all of that completely set up, but it's in the near future. And Judge Bill Stout in court today said that I believe that this is the first school district in Gregg County to have a police force in this way. So it's an exciting time for that, and that's what I found out this morning.
All right, well, Andrew, we're going to go ahead and take a look, but thank you so much for giving us that update live from Longview. We'll talk to you later.
Thank you, Kylie. Appreciate you.
So Longview ISD decided here a while back they wanted to look into starting a police department for the school district. As we all know, with the amount of school violence that's been around the country for decades now, but becoming more visible with social media and everything else, school safety and keeping our kids safe is a top priority for school districts. And so it's becoming kind of a new popular thing for ISDs to create their own safety and security and police departments, just to make sure that they've got all the pieces in place to make sure that our kids are safe. So when Longview ISD decided to do that, I began having some conversations with the superintendent, Dr. Marla Shepard, and then when their board finally approved for the district to create their police department, I decided, you know what, I've worked for Longview PD for almost 24 years, had the ability to retire from there and apply for that position, and was fortunate enough to be able to get that position, and I'm excited about being there and building this police department from the ground up and creating a level of safety for our students and our staff on LISD campuses that will just make sure that we're keeping our educational environment safe.
With the agreement that's approved between you guys and the Gregg County Sheriff's Office, what does that change here today?
So it really doesn't change a whole lot. What it does is it fortifies our ability to communicate with the city and the county, because one of the things that we know when we have critical incidents of any kind as it relates to law enforcement is the ability to communicate with other law enforcement agencies. So there's always going to be partnerships with neighboring agencies. So the ability to do that and get have real-time communication to talk about the things that we need to talk about, to get assistance, for us to assist them and them to assist us when we need help is just a critical piece of the safety puzzle. The district decided to go with a hybrid model, so we will have some sworn officers and we will have school marshals. Our legislature approved school marshals a while back. That allows us to have armed security on campuses. So we will have armed security on every campus throughout the district, and then we will have sworn officers on our middle school and high school campuses. So I'm currently working with TCOL right now to gain licensing with the state licensing agency, which is TCOL, for our agency, and I'm hoping to have that done by this summertime so that we can start hiring our sworn staff to have them on campuses for the first day of school year next year. We are already starting to hire school marshals because they technically don't fall under the police department. So we've already got school marshals on campuses throughout the district and are continuing to hire more school marshals for vacant positions that we have. So police officers are required to go through a basic police officer academy. It is a long process. They learn all the laws, the traffic laws and the penal code and all of those things because they have arrest authorities that a school marshal doesn't have. School marshals are required to go to an 80-hour training that is put on by TCOL to get licensed as a school marshal, and then they have to have a license to carry, which allows them to carry a firearm on campus. But their responsibilities are primarily to keep campuses safe, but their authorities pretty much lie in stopping things that could result in serious bodily injury or death. So their primary focus is really to stop the really bad incident from happening if it happens on one of their campuses. Officers that work for school districts, their jurisdictional boundaries are the jurisdictional boundaries of the school district. So not the whole city or not the whole county, just within the boundaries of the school district. And our agency at least will have marked police units, and officers will be able to make traffic stops within those jurisdictional boundaries. So when they do that, it'll be if they're going from point A to point B in the district or maybe working the school zones associated with the campus that they're on. Our primary focus, regardless of what our budget is that we're going to hire the right people to put on the right campuses. Our primary focus is to provide a safe educational environment for our students to go to school and learn and not be in fear of something happening while they're at school. So it was approved early last year, but there's kind of a long process as it involves, creating a whole new department within the school district. So, and then they started the process of kind of looking what the school marshals would look like and how to hire them, and they reached out to other ISDs that already had models to see how they wanted to build theirs. And then obviously when they hired me on board with experience on the law enforcement level, it allowed me to kind of come in and pick up where they left off and take it to the finish line to get us licensed as an agency.
And how far along are y'all to the finish line?
So we're really close. There's a list of things that TCOL gives you that you have to comply with and be able to do before you can gain licensing as a new agency. And we have completed almost all of those things. I've got really one more piece of the puzzle. These MOUs that we signed today with the county, and we will be doing that with the city as well. And once those are all signed, then we will be real close to being able to package up our stuff and send it to the state for them to review and start that process of licensing us as an agency.
Sure, yeah. And so is there a hope by maybe the summer?
Yeah, my hope would be that by early summer that we would gain licensing. Once we get licensing, then the police chief will have to get hired, and they'll have to go through the same background investigation, everything to be able to become the police chief. And then once the chief is sworn in, then they can start hiring the police officers. So it's a process, but once again, the hope is that would happen early summer. We'd be able to hire staff, sworn staff throughout the summer to be ready to be on campus day one of next school year. Some school districts have police departments, others do not. It's a piece of the puzzle that our state has given school districts the ability to do, once again, primarily to help keep our kids safe. The more security, the more people we have on site at schools, the better odds we have of stopping something from happening to begin with. And then if there is any security related incidents, we have somebody there to hopefully stop that, quicker than you might if you had a campus that didn't have any security at all.
Sure.
So I don't know what other school districts will do. I can just tell you that there are more and more school districts beginning this process to start their own police agencies. And Longview ISD decided they wanted to get, in front of that game, be on, a pace setter, if you will, on that, and do everything that they could do. Once again, primary goal to keep our kids safe.
Sure, yeah. I don't know if you touched on it. Did we say how many police officers will be on the staff or hope to be?
So right now the goal is to have 5 sworn officers plus the chief and 11 school marshals. And that allows us to have armed staff on every campus throughout the district so that we keep all of our young minds safe and in an educational mindset on our campuses.
Sure.
The plan is, I got hired, I am the chief of district safety.
Okay.
The plan is when we get licensing is for me to go through the process to be the police chief when the agency is licensed.
Gotcha.
But we're a little ways down the road from that happening yet, but
Sure.
that is the plan.